Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. Oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course. Of course he is.
I was very impressed with Canelo at 21. But Mayweather was still technically more sound. I think Crawford is better. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. But Mayweather is definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Terence Crawford has fired back following Floyd Mayweather's challenge, issuing a clear warning for him to keep his distance. At the same time, Crawford addressed the ongoing comparisons to Mayweather, asserting that he is the standout fighter of his own generation and that measuring him against Floyd isn't needed.
Everyone is going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
Additionally, Sean Porter praised Terence Crawford, calling him a strategic mastermind with exceptional ring intelligence, while also recognizing Floyd Mayweather as the ultimate legend of the sport.
We've had a lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd, and I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that fight.
Yes, sir. I
Floyd
love you, Terrence.
always figures it out.
Yeah,
yes. he's a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in that
shit.
shit
The funny
is
thing
crazy.
about it is Terrence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody else? Yeah.
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
got a pioneer, right? Yeah, you got it.
There's an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere, and I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure out.
Despite the respect shown to Mayweather, Terence Crawford confidently declared that he believes he could defeat a prime Floyd, placing full faith in his own abilities and skill set.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Moreover, Timothy Bradley expressed that he thinks Terence Crawford could overcome Mayweather, pointing to Crawford's skill set, southpaw stance, and Floyd's past difficulties against precise counterpunchers.
Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. Oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he gonna reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that back hand the way he reaches with that.
Shane Mosley weighed in, claiming that Terence Crawford surpasses Mayweather because of his physical advantages, adaptability, and comprehensive skill set.
Who you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. You know, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Jeff Mayweather highlighted that Floyd Mayweather narrowly defeated a young Canelo Alvarez, demonstrating Canelo's emerging talent even while Floyd was at the peak of his career.
Well, also if we remember, you know, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So, yeah, very, very young in the game.
And Jeff Mayweather further explained that a boxer's prime typically falls in their 20s, suggesting that Floyd Mayweather's victory over Canelo at age 36 reflected more on timing than outright dominance.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people, but did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
But I mean, want
to make himself look like he did something great.
Breadman Edwards remarked that a matchup between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather would likely have been competitive, but emphasized that Crawford deserves to celebrate his own achievements, noting that past icons like Floyd and Roy Jones Jr. haven't always set the best public examples.
I don't know. It's a close fight. It's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, and I'm not going to just lie and just say nothing, and make up something just to. I got my opinion on, how the fights would go, and, but I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So, I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. And, unfortunately, they didn't fight. They could have made, they kind of two different eras, though. Even though they was fighting at the same time, Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC, and Bud's a lot young, about 10 years younger than him. So it didn't happen, and we got to just live with it. You know what I mean?
Showbiz the Adult argued that Terence Crawford edges out Mayweather as a fighter, citing his bold decision to move up 3 weight classes to challenge a top super middleweight, an ambitious feat that Floyd Mayweather reportedly would never have attempted.
Why is Terence Bud Crawford greater than Floyd Mayweather? Or better than Floyd Mayweather? Greater is a little bit different. Greater is impact, resume, all that shit, but better. Terence Bud Crawford, after what he did last night, is better than Floyd Mayweather because there is no way Floyd Mayweather would attempt to do that crazy shit. See, that's the insane Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler after being gone for 5 years type shit. Never being at middleweight, first fight at middleweight, being against Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Terence Bud Crawford never been a middleweight shit. The most he's been is super welterweight, and he was only there once. And he's fighting at 168 against one of the greatest super middleweights of all time, one of the greatest middleweights of all time, pound for pound, one of the greatest fighters of all time, reigning undisputed champion at super middleweight. That is unheard of, and that's something that Floyd Mayweather wouldn't even attempt to do.
However, Showbiz the Adult also pointed out Crawford's history of selective matchmaking, drawing comparisons to the legendary Black Murderers Row fighters, and admitted that losing $30,000 betting against him was a testament to Crawford's undeniable skill in—
If Canelo is saying there wasn't shit I can do in there, Errol Spence had to have been in there like, holy shit. It brings light to his resume. Everybody done it. We kind of knew that Bob Arum had Manny Pacquiao avoid Terence Crawford. PBC, welterweights, all avoided him. I am here to give credit to Terence Crawford for being one of the most ducked fighters in history. Like Bob Foster, like Black Murderers Row, Charlie Burley and Eddie Booker and all those guys. Terence Crawford by himself is Black Murderers Row of this era. Now, do I need Terence Bud Crawford to continue fighting? Hell no. For what? Terence Crawford, we know what you are. I am the first one to say, didn't believe it. But brother, if you're watching Terence Crawford, you by yourself has cost me at least $30,000. That's enough for me to be convinced. I would never bet against this man ever again. I can't afford it. I have a house, I got kids, a business to run. I can't afford it.
Additionally, Danny Garcia and Angel Garcia suggested that Canelo Alvarez may have been mentally fatigued, which created an ideal timing window for Terence Crawford, while praising Crawford's focus and mental acuity during the fight.
Everything you said about fighting not being there spiritually, mentally, you think that might have affected Canelo, or that was just a skill difference was too wide?
You know, I do think he was a little mentally tired. He's been at that level for a long time. He's fought 11 fights in 4 years. That's a lot.
Timing was perfect for Crawford.
Yeah.
He said it himself at the press conference. He said timing was everything. Perfect timing, everything.
That's right.
His whole career was on timing.
He was mentally tired, but you got to give Crawford his credit, man. To keep your mind that mentally fresh and sharp and go out there and perform like that, that's a win itself. Not even just beating your opponent. For your mind to be that fresh, come fighting that,
It's a risk.